Hey, YouTube family. I don't know. This is part two here because for some reason, YouTube or my server, I'm not sure which, interrupted my live stream and said that I needed to restart my phone. And then it just kept kicking me out of live stream, even though I kept trying to get onto live stream. I don't know if you were even able to hear me the last 5, 10 minutes of that live stream, but I'm back. I hope that you'll rejoin me. I don't know if you're still there. Oh, great. There's somebody who's coming on. Yeah, I don't know what just happened, you guys. So sorry about that. I'm not sure that you were even able to see me or hear me, but either YouTube or my server just kicked me out entirely from the live stream. So I apologize about that. There's nothing I could have done about that. I kept getting these messages that said that I had to restart my phone or update now or something like that. It was crazy. Oh, Jihad says, last thing I heard was that your phone needed an update. Yeah, that was the message I got. And then it just kicked me out. And I couldn't see any of you guys. I saw no people coming on. Thanks. I see you guys coming on now. So let's continue our stream. I'm wondering if maybe the other one ended 10 minutes ago and no longer was recording. So that will automatically upload. And then this one I will just upload as part two to it. And we'll continue our conversation here. We'll continue our lesson about arguing with a narcissist. Obi-Wan says, you don't love us anymore. LOL, just kidding. No, I do. Yeah, so the technical stuff that goes on with this sometimes makes me wonder if somebody's messing with me, right? You guys, Jihad, good to see you. Oh, okay, you said it ended and uploaded. Yeah, I had to back out of it and end it in order to start recording again. Sweetheart, good to see you. Okay, you guys. So let's get back to arguing with the narcissist. And now if I can remember where I ended 10 minutes ago. Somebody had written a comment about an article and I was not able to read it before it just all completely disappeared on me. So if you can write that again on this stream, I can address it. Otherwise, I'm sorry, I can't remember what was written. So you guys, let's continue on. Obi says, this is my weekly therapy and I always, something going to be bent. I don't know, understand. Wag's going to be bent. I don't know. Sorry, Obi. Yeah. So, oh yes. So we're talking about arguing with the narcissist and how they rewrite history. So what do you do with that? How do you deal with a narcissist that tells you what you said, but you know you didn't say that, or what you did and you know you didn't do that? One, you can either just concede and say, okay, I don't think I said that, but if I did, I really am sorry. Or you can say, this is what I really meant. Or you can say, okay, I don't agree with that, but now what do we do? Right? You want to move forward. You want to progress. You want to resolve. You want to have a solution. So you got to stay solutions oriented and not get into these cyclical arguments. They stick to one point and they just can't let go of it. They drive themselves absolutely crazy because they cannot let go of that one point. And if they can't, let go of that one point, then the discussion is over. It just is. That's your rules of engagement for yourself. If they cannot let go of that one point, you have to realize the discussion is over and possibly the relationship is over. It happened, I'll give you an example for a couple I knew. This covert narcissist was arguing with her, I don't know if he was her boyfriend at the time or at this point already kind of an ex. They were trying to work something through. And she was convinced that he cheated on her, which he did not because they were on a break. I know people who are like, what? Here's the reason I know he didn't cheat on her. Because when she goes on a break, she sleeps around. So when he was on the break with her, because she implemented the break, he ended up sleeping with somebody. And she was convinced that meant he was cheating. Of course, narcissists use double standards. They can sleep around and that's not cheating. But when you do during a break, then you're cheating. So, okay, Now you're kind of caught up. So every time while they were trying to work this out, she kept insisting that he was cheating, that he had cheated on her, and she can't forgive him, and she can't get over this. And you know what? Because she could not get over that, and she is a narcissist, and there were many other reasons why also that she kept insisting, um, because she already had another guy in on the side, right? She had already had another guy who made more money, who could give her the things that this guy could still give her, but not as well. All right. So she was ready to jump ship anyway. So here's the deal, there was nothing he could have done to convince her, even if he apologized and said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cheat. And, you know, she still would have been convinced that she was right, that he had cheated, and that she needs to move on. So save a little face in those situations and say, you can hold to your guns and say, look, this is not a double standard. When you and I were on a break earlier, you slept with 3 or 4 guys. Now, when we got on a break this time because you needed space and I found somebody, how is that cheating? To her, it was because she didn't fall in love with the other guys. So she didn't cheat. Because he started having feelings for the other woman, then that counts as cheating. Their rules are so ridiculous. Like, sex is sex, okay? It's cheating. Both ways are cheating, whether you fall for the person or you don't fall for the other person. That is cheating. Anyway, he should have known at that point that the relationship was over. She could not get past that point. When they hold on to one point and you just cannot get them past that point, the relationship is over. So just end it. It's going to be really painful, but you have to say, okay, then I guess it's over. And then you walk away. At that point, you know what happens is they will stop fighting you. They might try to guilt you a little bit as you walk out the door, like, see, I knew you wouldn't fight for me, or I knew, you did cheat on me. Whatever it is, whatever they throw at you to try to guilt you and make you feel worse, it's just more manipulation to try to pull you back into this arguing. And I don't know why it feeds them to argue like this, because there's no resolution. There's never any resolution for the narcissist other than to beat you into the ground so that they can say they were right. And just don't stick around for that. Do not stick around for that. This poor guy, he stuck around for it. He got beat up, not physically, but emotionally over and over again for, I want to say, probably a period of a month before finally she walked out on him and abandoned him for the other guy. So now he's moved on. He's found somebody else. He's happy. So that's a good story for him. I'm not sure what's going on with her, other than I know she's taken her Crazytown with her to this new guy. So whatever's going on with them, they might be married. Who knows? I'm I want to say like a 99% certain, but I'm almost actually 100% certain that it's a disaster. It's a total train wreck of a disaster, because that's how she is. She is not going to be suddenly normal. She's not going to be suddenly this wonderful person who's mature and considerate and doesn't go into these Crazytown arguments. No, that guy is going through these Crazytown cyclical arguments with her right now, if they're still together. So, you guys, when they cannot get off of this point, when they've rewritten history, when they are accusing you of doing something and they cannot let go and say, okay, maybe you didn't say it that way. Okay, I can concede. You didn't mean it, but this is how it made me feel. Okay, you can acknowledge that this is how it made her or him feel. And they should acknowledge that that's not what you meant, though. Okay, you guys can work past that with a normal relationship. But with a narcissist, if they keep holding on to that point and they won't let it go and won't let it go, you need to let it go. And that means you need to let the relationship go. You need to let that moment go. You have to walk away, because you'll just stay in this crazy cycle for 3-4 hours and it gets to wear you down. Okay, so don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. You don't deserve that. Here's another thing. If you are still in a relationship with a narcissist and you know they do these things, prepare yourself. So when you have an encounter with them, document it. When you have emails between you and them, save those, archive them. Okay. I'm telling you, put down dates. Write down dates. Uh, Write down dates for every time you took them out to dinner. Maybe they come back at you and they're like, you never take me out to dinner. Okay, write down actual days and dates and times and places that you took them. All right. So, and keep it in a book. I'm serious. So then the next time they start to guilt you about how little attention you give them or what you're not doing for them, bring out your book and say, on this date I took you out, on that date we went here, on this other date I took you to get ice cream, on this other date I took you to the movies, on this other day, have it ready. Documenting, that is what you have to do with a narcissist. With non-narcissist, you can remind your partner, oh no, remember last week we went to the zoo? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And then you're fine. Then your partner feels like, oh yeah, oh, you're right, you did take me. And because people are going to have insecurities, and that's part of life. Okay, you're not going to find a perfect partner. So with a regular imperfect partner, you're going to be able to remind them without writing it down, without having documentation. But with a narcissist, or maybe with somebody who has like terrible memory, you have to write it down. You have to document. You have to be able to show them dates, and then they'll stop. Okay, it'll bring them back to reality and out of their crazy cycle, whatever hamster wheel they're on in their head. So that's what you have to do. All right, you guys, let me see what's going on here. Libby says, when a narc cheats, it's not the same because they didn't care about the one they cheated with like they do you. Yeah, that is how they do see it. But it's cheating. They don't see it that it's cheating though somehow when they do it. That's the crazy thing to me. Absolutely crazy. They have tiers, right, of infractions. They grade infractions, best to worst or horrible to whatever, right? Just slight. And of course, their infractions are always very slight, and yours are horrible. So that's another thing actually I did want to talk to you about today, was that when they do, and this is very rare, when they do concede and say, oh my gosh, I was wrong. Like, oh, I misremembered. That didn't happen. Okay. They're going to play it off as if it was nothing. Well, that, no big deal. But if you do something wrong and they catch you or whatever it is, they're able to pinpoint you or pin you to it, then it's the worst thing in the world, whatever it is you did. Same thing with that woman and her boyfriend. When she cheated, no big deal. It wasn't even a big deal how many people she cheated with, right? And I don't think it's cheating actually when you say, hey, I need some space, I need to figure some things out. I don't think you may not be the one. You're kind of releasing the other person, like if you're out there and you're dating around, you're releasing the other person. So just because there are times that maybe the narcissist didn't cheat or didn't jump into bed with somebody, but during that break you did, that doesn't mean that you cheated and they didn't when, the other time when you guys were on a break. Anyway, rules change for them to benefit them. These tiers they create so that their infractions seem to be very slight and yours are extremely horrible. So don't fall for that. Don't agree to it. But recognize it's going to happen. That's the way their brain works. So it's horrible when they even say, oh yeah, I can see I did, but what I did wasn't as bad as what you did. This is why I say, yeah, you can argue with a narcissist. Yeah, you can be prepared, but don't plan to stay. Don't plan to stay in that kind of a relationship. You just don't deserve it. You don't deserve that type of treatment. And you don't want to stay in this crazy town hamster wheel that they've got going in their head. You just don't, you want to get off of that crazy ride, okay? So let me see what you guys have, what comments you're making here. Sweetheart says, my ex was a narcissist and now my son. Yeah. Obi-Wan says, same story, different narc. What's KOL? I don't know what that is. Jihad says, yes, they try to act like they became so much better after they left you, but in reality they're still the same. If anything, they are worse, and that's what happened with my ex. Yeah, it's true. Oh my gosh. Recently I was reading a viewer's comment that said, why does it look like they've changed for the new supply? So they watched my video that says, I think it was the one that was stop imagining uh, that everything's perfect for the narcissist, right? Life's perfect for the narcissist in a new supply. I'll go ahead and put a link to it up here in the little circle and an eye to the right when I upload this video. But it says, I'm sorry, the viewer said, and what I said in the video essentially is that the narcissist doesn't change, right? They want to appear like they've gotten better. They want to appear like they are changing for the new supply, but they just don't. They don't. They're on a very good behavior right now. It's almost like their trial period, right? Where they know they have to convince the new supply that they're this new and different person. And they're trying to convince themselves as well, by the way, that they're better now that they're away from you, because they want to blame you for all the things that happened in your relationship. So if they're blaming you for it, then they cannot take on those characteristics that they know caused the relationship to fail. So they're going to make changes temporarily so that the same things at first don't happen in this relationship, right? They're not going to go into these crazy town cyclical arguments at first, but it's coming. It's going to be coming for the new supply, because narcissists do not know how else to argue. They don't know how else to perceive things other than from the point of view that they're always right. You know, it's just, they don't change. They just don't change their stripes, you guys. So that's so true, Jihad. Thanks for mentioning that. Jihad also says she's been fighting with her new guy so much so that she called the police on him because he didn't want her to leave the house at night and she was pregnant. Wow. Wow. She wanted to leave him and actually left, then came back after a couple of hours. Okay. You see that Crazytown fighting? Why, right? Why would you want to be in that? Why would you want to have a relationship like that? Oh my gosh, I have an acquaintance, I guess. I don't know, friend, sort of, um, who's telling me about his girlfriend. And she insists that he's not in touch with his emotions. Okay, I get that. A lot of men are not in touch with their emotions. There are ways to do that. She wants him to get angry because she wants him to show passion. Now, he is passionate about a lot of things. He just doesn't explode into anger when he does feel frustrated. She wants him to explode. She wants him to engage in arguing and fighting, whatever, with her. And to her, she thinks that that means that then he's in touch with his feelings. And I want to tell you, that is so unhealthy. It is so unhealthy when you lose self-control, right? When somebody's trying to teach you to lose self-control and become, I don't want to say violently angry, but explosively angry, okay? That's not healthy. That's road rage, okay? Road rage is not healthy. That's not a healthy way of expressing your anger. There are healthy ways of expressing your anger, and explosions are not the healthy way. Narcissists think that explosions are healthy. They're not. I mean, if you want to explode, explode onto a punching bag. Like go to a gym and start punching a punching bag. Do that. You don't explode onto another person. That's crossing boundaries. That's teaching yourself that this other person is just a thing that I can punch like a punching bag, that I can throw my anger at, and they're supposed to just stand there and take it. That's crap, okay? So if narcissists, though, do believe that that's somehow healthy and then that's somehow showing passion, so full of crap. So full of crap, by the way, you guys. So just wanted to share that with you. Now, I'm a passionate person. You know, if you've met Italians, if you've met certain Asians, if you've met, let me think, people who tend, you know, New Yorkers, I don't know, people who claim that they have passion, right? They're just very boisterous, and you can be passionate, and that's awesome. I love being passionate. I love, you know, feeling intense feelings. I don't take them out on other people. I don't. That's the line. You can be passionate and you can be like blah blah blah, you know, and yelling into the air and at home by yourself where you're not taking it out on somebody. You can, you know, yeah, I understand that. You can yell into a pillow. You can release how you really feel about something, but not onto somebody else, right? Not onto some innocent person who had nothing to do with it. And even if it's somebody that caused your anger, like in road rage, it's still not right to explode onto them, okay? That's absolutely crap. It really is. Calm yourself down. You'll feel better about yourself for not overreacting, for not giving into that rage, for not, you know, and it's rage. It's not passion, it's rage. And there's a difference, you guys. So for a narcissist to tell you that you're not passionate enough, no, you can have passion. You just don't go into rages like they do. That's not passion. They kind of excuse themselves for their rages by calling it passion. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you. um, oh, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Jen or Joanne Jala? Good to see you. Says narcs cheat because they don't look at you as a person with feelings. You are to them an object for their abuse. Exactly. And that goes along again with the passion versus rage thing, where they think they're just expressing their passion when what they're doing is they're raging at you. And raging at people is absolutely off limits for me. You know, it's like, no, you start raging at me, I'm out of here. The heck with that. No, absolutely not. But narcissists think that that shows passion. Obi-Wan says, I'm sure we need a break so I can sleep around, but when I can't find supply, let's get back together. I think that's kind of their view of a break. I do think that's kind of their view of a break. I'm sorry, let me go back. I missed a few other comments you had about that. Oh, wait, maybe I did. Okay, Obi says, if you go on a break and sleep around, that's cheating. Oh, okay. Well, it depends on the couple, right? Like for her, she went on a break with him a few months earlier than this, you know, event that I'm telling you about, and she slept around with three or four people, and then she told him she wanted to go on another break. So they went on this other break, and not just then, but she was like, I don't think I want to marry you. I don't think you're the guy I want to be with. So he meets another woman and sleeps with her, and now suddenly he's cheating on her. So it's almost like I can kind of, she did not set the boundary. Well, you know what? The narc's rules are always going to be beneficial to the narc, which is when they go on a break and they meet somebody because they weren't sure if they wanted to be with you and they had sex with that person, then hey, they weren't sure that they wanted to be with you. So that's okay. That's not cheating because they need to try around and see who they really want to be with, right? But when they go on a break with you and you meet somebody and you sleep with them, then suddenly you're, hey, I didn't let go of you yet. I didn't release you yet. So why are you sleeping around? Like I can sleep around while you wait on me, while you wait for me to figure things out. But then when I tell you we're on a break again, same deal. I can sleep around, but you need to stay there and not do anything until I'm ready to call you back. It's absolute crap. I'm so sorry. It really is. Yeah. So Joanne says, they already have supply even before the break or breakup. That's why they seem to move on so fast. Exactly. Exactly. They don't jump ship unless they know where they're going, unless they already have supply somewhere. Obi-Wan says, mine called the cops on me and the police were going to take the narc to jail for wasting their time. Wow. That's a really great scenario though, you know, because it backfires on them. They're so crazy. Sweetheart says, I got very sick. I'm so sorry to hear that. Obi says, Narcs love explosive anger. Yeah, it's like they feed off of that. They love to get into these arguments where you're raging at them, they're raging at you, but this allows them to go no holds barred. That's what they're hoping for. Like if you're not raging back at them, they know they're a total jerk for hitting you. But if you do rage back at them, then they can hit you, right? They can take it to the next level. It's horrible. Do not ever get into that type of argument with the narcissist. So when I talk about arguing with a narcissist, you have to stay in control. Always, always stay emotionally in control of yourself. Don't go in, there's going to be violence. It's going to be really horrible. And you don't want that. You do not want to put yourself into that kind of danger. So arguing with them, really, it's damage control. It's going in with a few tools, right? They try to guilt you, you turn the tables on them. You know, when they say, if you love me, you would do this for me, you would do illegal things for me. You would say, no, if you love me, you wouldn't ask me to do illegal things for you. You would not risk my freedom. You would not risk me getting caught or going to jail. Excuse me, you guys. So let me grab a bit of tea here. I hope you guys have your tea as well. This is good. Yeah, and you want to go into an argument with these tools, okay? You want to go in if they accuse you of, you know, and when they change history on you, go in with a notebook, right? You have dates and journaling, and, you know, you've written down what's happened in the past, even arguments in the past, and what ended up at the end of that argument. You write all these things down so that when they come back at you and they try to rewrite history, you can tell them, no, on this date at this time, this is what happened. If they had sent you texts, then you archive those texts. You know, you keep them, okay? Another thing that you go into an argument with a narcissist with is rules of engagement. You let them know, these are my boundaries. No name calling, no screaming and yelling, no foul language, right? But you hold to that for yourself as well. Because, you know, if you start going into foul language, you're going to escalate. You're going to get angry. You're going to get out of control. You don't want that. You want to stay in self-control, right? So these are the ways, these are the ways that if you do get into an argument with a narcissist is the best way to get into it. You want to do some damage control. But the main message I want to give you guys is don't stay. If this is how they behave with you, it's not going to get better. It's just going to get worse. Unless they're able to get help, unless they're really not narcissists and they can work on themselves, unless therapy really does work for them. If you're seeing that therapy is not working for them and they're just manipulating the therapist to see them as the victim and allow them to continue to be abusive towards you, then you know they're a narcissist. They're not somebody who's able to change. So you don't want to stay around for this. Well, you guys, I think we have covered all the points that I did want to cover. So I want to hear what you have to say. Oh, I'm going to catch up on some of these comments here, you guys. Okay, Jihad says, Obi-Wan, in California, if you call the police for domestic violence, the police will come and arrest someone, regardless of what happened. Wow. Obi says, it was in California back in the day. Ah. Obi says, I called the cops on mine, but I didn't press charges, hoping that woke my narc up, but it didn't. Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, it doesn't wake them up. That's the thing with narcissists. They don't wake up. If they're just behaving narcissistically, right, because of wounding, that will wake them up. But a narcissist, that doesn't wake them up. It just makes them more crazy. Sweetheart says, my son has road rage. Oh, that's not good. Not good at all. Therapy would be really good for him if he's not a narcissist, but if he is, you know, just I don't know. It's hard to reach a narcissist. It's hard to use even reason with a narcissist because they're so unreasonable, irrational in their thinking. Joanne says, if the narc goes to jail, you have caused an injury. Yep. And they will retaliate against you and never forget it. They will abuse you more for it. Yes. So, Joanne, I hope that you know if they go to jail because you sent them there, get away. Get away. Move to another town. Do something else. You know, you have to, you cannot keep taking them back. Obi says, I can't even get road rage. My horn doesn't work. Or if you have one of those horns that's like a tiny little beep beep, it's not much of a. Hey, that's the best thing. Maybe get rid of his horn. Was it Joel? Yeah, get rid of his horn, or sweetheart. Get rid of your son's horn so that he can't get road rage. Joanne says, arguing with them is useless because they never get tired of these tactics. You will be exhausted. Yes, because that is not normal. Narcs are like a parasite, don't know how to stop. No, they don't. Sweetheart says, run, 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 run from a narcissist. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you guys, you know, remember that the best tool that you have, you always keep in your back pocket, is gray rock. That will keep you from escalating and going crazy with them. If you feel like you're escalating or going crazy, go gray rock. You have to do that. And extricate yourself. Get yourself out of there. Well, you guys, I think we are actually out of time. And I will give you a couple more minutes if you want to say a few more things to each other and wrap up any of your conversations. But it was really good to see you. I'm sorry that our live stream got interrupted, and so it's chopped up into 2 live streams now. But I hope you listen to the first one, and in the first one, I hope you listen to the second one so that you get the entire lesson and the entire conversation. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Thank you for coming back for the second part of the live stream when we got kicked off. I don't know. I gotta just pray for intervention or something that these technical things stop happening on these live streams. But blessings to you guys. I hope that you have a great week. Remember to focus on your happies, but if crappies happen, learn from them. See what you can learn from them and move forward. So glad to see the new faces and see some of my my constant companions coming back again, which is so awesome. Good to see you guys. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you next week.